Here's an update from the KSHB 41 Weather Center. All right, we have Arctic air moving in, and as far as any snow, we don't really expect any snow here. We might have some flurries. There's also some minor sign of freezing drizzle. Let's hope not. That would glaze things up. It wouldn't take more than a trace to cause problems, but the air down here at the surface is dry enough. I don't think we're going to have any huge issues. There's winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings from Billings, Montana, all the way to Washington, D.C. But if you look close there in northern Kansas as it went by, and there's a little winter weather advisory that was just issued for some freezing drizzle out there. So we'll see if that works its way here. I doubt that will. It might get a little mist, but it is, again, awfully dry here at the low levels, and it may just evaporate. So we will keep an eye on that. The chance is pretty low for that. Now, it's the temperatures that are the main story. As of 8 a.m., we were 21 at KCI, 18 in Maryville, 16 in Bethany, 18 Cameron, 17 Chillicothe, to 27 Butler, 30 in Clinton. That relatively warmer air is moving away. Wind chill values in the single digits in northern Missouri. And now at the KCI at 9, and then also we have single teens, basically, wind chills here, and then teens and low 20s to our south. But everyone is going to start to turn colder and colder. What about the main snow? Well, that's really falling from Sioux City, Iowa, to Des Moines, Davenport, Iowa. It's only 5 there. And the northeast corner of Missouri, that winter weather advisory does go into the northeast corner of Missouri where it is snowing. And around Omaha, you see those little light fuzzy echoes. That is some very light snow. Some of that could be freezing drizzle as well farther to the southwest. It's only 11 in Omaha. It's definitely light snow. So that may work its way down here. Some very light snow and flurries or some freezing mist. The chance is low, and I just don't expect any huge issues, but we'll watch it because it doesn't take much freezing mist or drizzle to be an issue, so we'll keep an eye on that. As we take a look at our satellite picture here in motion, the main system, again, moving to our north. It's moving east-southeast, but it's tracking to our north, and we're just going to have a lot of clouds and cold conditions, but we have a big change showing up. This is the temperature anomaly graphic. What does that mean? It means how far above and below average are we. If you're in the white, you're exactly average, and in the purple is minus 25 degrees below average, or 25 degrees below average, and then in the brownish, it's about 25 degrees above average, and our average high is 43 to 41 the next 7 days, and it drops from 24 to 23 on the lows the next 7 days. Today, we're in the green going into the purple. That is the 10 to 25 degree below average area. And tomorrow, the core of the Arctic air goes just to our east, but we are in it. But if you also notice, look how it is surrounded by warmer than average temperatures and seasonably warm out to the west. Look what happens Monday and Tuesday. That warmer air surges east, and the Arctic air is gone, and new Arctic air forming in Canada. But it's going to sit up there. That's Thursday and Friday and into Saturday. Little pieces of colder air will try to dip in here, but they'll stay mainly to our northeast because the main jet stream is going to be like this, flowing in off the Pacific, and that keeps the Arctic air bottled up to the north. So as we take a look at our powercast here this afternoon, 19 here. They're accumulating snows off to the east. Again, we'll have to watch for some flurries or light freezing mist. I just don't think it's going to be a huge issue, but we'll keep an eye on it. Look at Denver, 61 degrees. What cold air they're saying there. And as we go into tonight, our temperatures will continue to drop down to around 6 and down to 5 below in Des Moines, 14 below 0 in Minneapolis. And then tomorrow, if you're tailgating, it's going to be cold. During the day, it's going to be cold. At least the sun will be out and the wind will be light. We'll get into the low 20s here, -1 in Minneapolis, 66 in Denver, Colorado, 44 in Goodland, 33 in Dodge City. You see those red arrows? The south winds are returning, and it's a sign of things to come. On Monday, we'll be in the 40s here, 50s and 60s off to the west. Tuesday, we could make a run at 60 degrees. Clouds may keep us from getting that warm, but my goodness, huge warm-up. Look at Minneapolis in the 30s after a low tomorrow morning of 14 below. That's a 40, 50 degree warm-up there. And then on Wednesday, a little system goes by. There's that colder air trying to get a little closer to us, but it's way up in the upper Midwest. A little snow in Minneapolis. We're in the 50s, maybe upper 40s. And then that little front comes through Thursday, so we're in the 40s, low 50s. The Arctic air, though, staying to the north. You can see it's a westerly wind, so it's just kind of sweeping in and out to the north. And even could be some thunderstorms there in Indianapolis and east of St. Louis. As we go towards Friday, back to south winds, back to the 50s if we haven't fallen out of the 50s, 60s to our west. On Saturday, another front comes through, will be in the 40s, low 50s. Some rain to our east And again, the Arctic air is way up to the north and staying there, and that's the way it's going to be for a while. As we look overall at precipitation in the next 7 days, well, any rain will be east of here, and that would be mostly at the end of this period, middle end of the week or over the weekend. About 1 to 4 inches of snow, that is today. And again, we might get some freezing drizzle. A trace is all it takes to cause problems today. So we will watch that. But the main show of snow is really going to be up in the upper Midwest, Canada, and in the northern Rockies, Pacific Northwest mountains. Tons and tons of snow up there. And overall, pretty quiet around here. So as we take a look at the forecast for today, it is going to be mostly cloudy, around 20. We'll watch for a little flurry activity or a little light freezing mist. Again, I don't think it's going to be a huge issue, but something we'll keep an eye on. And then tonight, low 5 to 10. And wind chill -5 to 0. Thankfully, the wind will be coming down. And then tomorrow, if you're tailgating, wind chills will be right around 0, give or take a few degrees. And then kickoff 18, at the end of the game 22. At least the sun will be out and the winds will be light. Here's the super 10-day forecast. Cold air gets out of here fast. 44 Monday after a low of 18, 52 Tuesday, near 60 Wednesday. And winter begins a week from tomorrow, a week from Sunday, and in the 40s, but generally highs in the 50s the next week to 10 days. And we just don't see much precipitation either. So we will keep an eye on that. Yes, it doesn't look great for a white Christmas right now, but that, you know how things can change around here. Have a great weekend. Stay warm, stay healthy.